Hello, welcome back, or welcome to the channel. My name's Daniel, and I keep going on and on and on about qualifying for Kona. So today's video is going to be about coaching. Now, a little while ago, for those that have been here for a while, you will know that I'm not currently coached. I was up until the beginning of this year, and then I left my coach for a number of reasons, which I covered in a previous video, which I'll drop a link to down below. No drama, don't worry. Just a case of coaching didn't work for me, as I'm sure it doesn't work for a lot of people. You know, what with the demands of working full-time, family, life, pets, and so on, you know, there's only so many hours in the day. So I'm just going to give you a real quick overview of how I got into training, like training with purpose, training with power, training for events, that sort of thing. So in 2016, I bought a power meter. All my mates were getting them. Everybody I was watching was getting one, so I thought, I want one of those. That looks shiny, I'll have one of those, please. So I got myself a Stages power meter, started using it, didn't really know what to do with it. Had a few go at a few sessions, but didn't really know what I was doing. Thought, right, if I'm gonna actually get fit, I need to take some direction with this. So I did a plan, a winter training plan, which was set by a guy called James Walsgrove. So he actually lived near me when I lived in Norfolk a few years ago. He runs a company called Ride Harder. Now it's a coaching service, bike fitter, time trial bike fitter, retro bike fitter. It does all sorts really. What he does, what he's done for the last few years is he's had a winter training plan. Now this is sort of like a pre-produced plan that he puts together for a group of people. So if you were looking to improve your cycling, that's the sort of thing you'd look at, and the sort of thing that I looked at. It was between 6 and 8 hours of training a week on the bike. He also threw in some strength and conditioning sessions stuff in there as well. I won't claim to have done all of those, as you can probably tell, but you know, they were beneficial, the ones that I did do. It was good. It was periodised, so it's 16 weeks long, starts in October, finishes early into the next year, and it really gets you in good shape for the next year to come. It helped me understand what power I was producing and why, how to work on it, how to work on different areas of my cycling, all those different things. But it kept the distance of, he's not one-to-one coaching you, he's giving you the plan, it goes onto your training peaks, onto your Zwift, and it's really easy to use, but he's not on your case all the time. It wasn't on my case all the time as to why haven't you done that session. I could move them around if I wanted to, I could do my running and swimming around it if I wanted to, and all those things. So I found it to be really beneficial. Following that, I then went on to a proper triathlon coach, a one-to-one, full-on coached for about a year or so, which was great. So again, saw some real gains, but for the reasons I said earlier, I then left that coach earlier this year. So now it's getting to winter again. I'm going to be predominantly in here on this and on the treadmill that the camera sat on, doing some work, trying to get fit for the 2020 season. So I think, what can I do to get myself in the best possible shape? And I think, well, it's evident that full-on one-to-one coaching isn't for me at the minute. So therefore, why wouldn't I go back to something that I have tested, used, and been over the moon with to get my training in over the winter? So that's what I've done. I'm going to be following the Ride Harder Academy plan this winter. So it's a 16-week plan starting on October the 14th. Now, I'm going to put a link to James's website down below because it covers it in a lot more detail than I'm going to. Mainly because I'm using my phone as a light over there for lighting, and that's got my notes on it. So I'm doing this from the heart, or from the heart. You know, have a look at that down below. Now, full transparency, as you guys know, I do all the time. I'm not going to sit here and try and flog you something if I don't believe in it and all that sorts of things. So James hasn't paid me to sit here and tell you guys that his plan's amazing, and I won't be doing so if he did. I've done this plan, as I said, for 2 winters, and paid for it as any normal person would do. He has been kind enough this year to give me the plan for free to sort of use it. Talk about the plan that he's given, and talk about my training, as I would do anyway. So I'm happy to sort of talk about the plan in a bit more detail, what the sessions are going to be when they come around in a couple of weeks, what the benefit is, what the training purpose is, and that sort of thing. So it doesn't really bother me whether anybody signs up for his plan or not, but genuinely, it's really worked for me. If I give you some sort of stats, so in 2016, I did my first 20-minute FTP test. Well, I did a couple because I messed up the first one. The second one was a 20-minute power test of 274 watts. Now, that was great. I was buzzing. I felt on top of the world. And 20-minute power isn't the be-all and end-all, but it was the constant. It was the measurable I could return to and retest and see how I'm progressing. Now, it was up and down, but at the end of that sort of 16-week period, I made a significant gain. And then the next year as well, same sort of thing. Started off, well, at 300 odd watts, and then worked my way up. And then into the spring of 2018, I did a 20-minute test of 357 watts. So you do the maths: 273 to 357, 83 watts. I can't remember that from the notes. Awesome. If you want to get, if I said to you guys, do you want to gain 83 watts? Of course, the answer is yes. Now, obviously, there was a lot of training throughout the summer during those years as well as my own training. You know, I'm not saying it's all just down to that plan, but having a real structure to follow, having a periodised training block to follow, really, really helped me. So I thought I would just sit here and talk a little bit about it. So I'm not going to go off too much longer. I'll leave you guys to have a look at the description down below. If you've got any questions, either ping James an email or drop me a note and I'll help where I can. But genuinely, it's helped me, so I'm trying to help you. Make what you want of it, but that's what my coaching plan and my training plan is going to be over the winter. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, click that button down below, because some of these sessions are quite tasty, so you'll see quite a lot of pain. I'm going to try and get some cameras set up in here so I can get my training documented a bit better and hopefully take you along for the ride. See you later.